Gonna take me just 1 minute. Hope you're doing well. Just recorded video on Bitcoin. If you're interested, be sure to check that out. And I'll be playing Bitcoin if it triggers. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go live on Facebook. Okay, Facebook, I think we're live. Hi everybody, Sami Abu Saad here. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday afternoon. I'm gonna go ahead and get started by giving you my swing ideas for next week. As always, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. And be sure to check out the links in the description. But for now, let's go ahead and look at the charts. So I'm gonna switch over to the charts, and there we go. And as always, standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss today is for educational purposes only. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's go over the charts. Now, I am going to do a separate video on the market itself because I think what happened on Friday was extremely bearish, and I'm going to do a market update, go over the market in detail, the daily, the weekly, the monthly, to show you what happened on Friday. Hopefully a lot of you were part of the open house on Friday, and I was able to guide you through it. We discussed a lot of things, but I'm going to do a separate video about the market. And then for now, I'm just going to share with you my swing ideas for Monday. So first, I don't have a lot of long ideas. There's only two, really. There's one more, but it's too thin to share with you, so I'm not going to do that. The first one is ENDP. What I like about ENDP, this is actually a transition A play. So there are two ways stocks transition on the daily chart. What I mean by transition, I mean they go from a downtrend to an uptrend. So that turn, right? So the first way is when they go sideways and then they break out, like so. I'll show you an example. XON, right? XON, see it right here. It was in a downtrend, based, and then a base breakout, and then bam, right to the 200. Okay, so, and then the other way is when it pops above the 20 and then pulls back to the 20. Now, I like it when it pops a little bit more. This way, it's a real pullback. It's not just two red bars, at least three or more. And in this case, we only have two red bars. But, to tell you the truth, the requirements are not three red bars. The requirement is three red bars or three lower highs, and we have three lower highs. So this is a valid buy setup. It's just a little bit aggressive. Entry, oops, that's meant to be a straight line. Entry, stop. Okay, does that make sense? Entry, stop. And where's the target? $4, I'm thinking, and maybe $5 as target two. So that's a long idea on ENDP. I like the relative strength. The market collapsed. This thing actually printed a green bar on Friday. It actually was up 3.5%, 3.2 I think, when the market dropped 3%, right? So that's good relative strength. If we look at the ENDP, just to share with you the extent of that sell-off, just look at this, from $90, actually from probably 100, 96, right, to $3 to 290. What is that? What should that tell us? That should tell us that, you never get married to a stock. Anything can happen. I've seen $250 stocks go down to zero, literally to pennies, and then get delisted. So you never get married to a stock. I mean, GPro also. Look at GPro, right? From 100 to $4 now. Fit. I mean, then the list goes on and on and on, right? You never get married to a stock. You always protect yourself. That's always rule number one. And then you just you trade what you see, not what you believe. You might think GPro, you might be a biker and love GPro and think, and all your buddies use it and think this is the best. I mean, there's no way this company is not going to turn around. But you don't trade like that. That's not how pros trade. Pros look at the chart and read it objectively, regardless of how they feel and think about the company or whatever it is, right? So with these stocks, you have to protect yourself always. So ENDP is a disaster. So why am I thinking about it as a long? Just as a swing. I mean, is XON not a disaster? Let's take a look. That's a total disaster. Look at that. From 170 bucks, 66 bucks, and it dropped all the way down to 3, 4, right? But did it have a nice swing a few weeks ago? Oh yeah. It had a really terrific swing. Look at that. From 5, not even 5, $5 to $9. That's 40%. That's more than 40%. I'm sorry. Did I say 40? I don't know anything about math if I said 40. That's 80%. That's 80%. So, okay. So you can have you can make a good chunk of money on a swing play without it actually, eventually going back to 60. Just that initial swing. And Nowhere also printed a nice little green bar. I like it a lot on the hourly chart. That's the hourly, transition A on the hourly. The issue with it is if a stock prints already a green bar, big green bar, which this wasn't small, okay? 3.5% actually. Then I usually wait for a doji bar before I play long. So that's the only issue, but I do like it long over the base, stop under it, okay? So that's the Newar, N-E-W-R, okay? Shorts, look at the list, guys. I mean, this is an incredible list. Very, very long. I'll go over it quickly, but I am going to play 4 of these. If you're in the strategic swing trader, feel free to log into your account right now, T3 Live account. You'll see which ones I picked. Okay, and you'll have the entry, stop, target, the reward to risk, and the strategy description for each one of these. But but you'll know which ones are just ideas and which ones I'm actually going to be playing. Okay, so feel free to log into your account right now. The plays have been picked. All right, let me show you CLVS sell setup. I mean, that's gorgeous. Hourly chart, as beautiful as they come. Under the base, stop above it. Okay, it's simple. Under the base, stop above it. Target the prior low, and maybe even more. Where did the CLVS come from? Check it out. Look at this, guys. See it? Disaster from 90 something dollars, 99, and before that was 100 something. But you see this? You never get married to a stock ever get married to a stock. In fact, I shorted it on this day. On this day, I shorted it because this was an earnings play. I mean, and the thing about me is I always, I don't just talk the talk. I have proof always. I have my P&Ls. That's why. I don't know what day did I say. 8/8, right? Is that 8/8? This is 8/8, but I don't see it on 8/8, so it must be on 8/9, which is the next day, right? I don't see it, but I have a lot of symbols, so I don't know. Do I see it here? I don't see it. But anyways, I played it that day. This is 8/1, 8/1, not this day. It was 8/1. So if we look at August 1st. Whatever, you guys know what I mean. I don't know where August 1st is, but okay, I don't want to waste your time. CLVS is a very nice sell setup, so I like it a lot. Okay, the other one that I like is CPLG. It's not bad. You got that narrow body bar, which is a good reversal bar if it breaks under it. Short under, stop above, and target 750. That's not bad at all. ENPH. Okay, so the ENPH is very, very special. I played it twice actually. This day, and I can show you the P&L, I'm sure. 731, right? And then the previous, and then last quarter also. This day, right? 5/1 as an earnings play, right? I figured out a way to pick the earnings plays, but I have a long list, so I don't know where to. So see, I don't know with ENPH. So ENPH, see it right here, and then 2 different accounts, ENPH. So it actually made about $7,000, almost $7,000. Okay, but at any rate, it went vertical. Check it out on the larger time frames. Look at that, unbelievable stock, best in the country. Okay, but is this sustainable? Is this sustainable? Answer is no. It's not sustainable. Right, this should come back down to earth. Okay, we can look at examples of what I'm talking about here. stocks that went totally climactic and are now coming back down to earth, like the ALGN. Look at that. ALGN coming back down to earth. Like the, I don't know, WWE is maybe coming back down to earth, right? Like the WW, I think, is Weight Watchers, right? Look at Weight Watchers. When they go climb like this, ABMD, there's only one way to go, which is down. Med, is it Med or Med? Yeah, Med. Look at Med, right? Look at that. And then coming back down. How about MDGL? This is the best. Went from 15, transition A, to 325. Back down to 88. So the ENPH at the moment is doing the same. Do I know this is for sure the top? I don't, because it didn't print, you know, we don't have any wide range bars here. So this is an aggressive play, but the target on it is 22 bucks. Okay, somewhere here. So I'm gonna play it personally. So it's one of the four that I'm gonna play. Short, stop. Okay, I am gonna play it. ENPH. FI is a nice looking sell setup, just a simple plain sell setup. Entry under 456, stop 475. Okay, target the prior pivot low. When you have a sell setup, it's clear the entry is here, target is here, the prior pivot low. All right, GPS is a sell setup. Short under yesterday's low. I played this also yesterday as an earnings play, gapped in my favor. It didn't make a whole lot of money. I don't know what the date yesterday was, but you know, I played this. I was in it yesterday, the 21st. I don't see it. That's the day before. Maybe I didn't take a picture, but at any rate, so short under this bar is low, stop above it. Hain is a breakdown. Well, what I like about the Hain is the larger time frames. Look at the monthly. Sell setup, isn't it? Pretty good. But it triggered already on the monthly. So now the entry for this would be under the lows, stop right here. Okay? On the Hain. But gorgeous monthly. KALA, breakdown. Short under the lows, stop above the base. Just a simple breakdown. MYGN, wow, what a disaster. As I said in the room last week, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Right? These some of these biotech stocks, right, that report earnings. First, you never play something into earnings that's this extended ever. Long, you don't. The plays that I take long into earnings are off the 20 MA, and then they have to have some pattern at the 20 MA, not up here. But this was earnings, got down a huge amount, and now has a breakdown 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and if we break under it, it'll be 1, 2, 3. So I like it. It's not too bad. NE is a sell setup. It's like the the CLVS, the CPLG, the I think FI. It's the same exact. It's a small stock, but still can work. I mean, same as $100 stock, doesn't matter. You just up the shares, right? And then target the prior low. Okay, so that's the NE as a short. Oil stock. NEWM, I guess, is the symbol. NEWM, here it is. Short under this bar is low, stop above. Okay, target the prior pivot low right here. Actually, target 1 should be about here, 750, 52, and then target 2 would be about $7 or 710. NLS, look at NLS. This one was a pretty nice one actually as an earnings play twice. One was here, and one was this year in May, sometime in May. I don't know what day it was, but sometime this day probably, May 7th, right? We'd have to look for the P&L. I'm not going to do that. But this was very nice as an earnings play, and now has another breakdown. It's at $1.22. It can go to zero. Who knows? Can go to zero. Short under the base, stop just above it, which is I think it's 35, $1.35. Yeah, $1.35. Entry would be at $1.19. Could go to zero. So I like it. PS breakdown. Short under the base, stop above it. Notice my primary two patterns are sell setups. There are no other patterns anyway. There are no other patterns. Sell setups or base breakdowns. You know why there are no other patterns? Because stocks can either correct through time by going sideways or through price by giving you a counter rally and a sell setup. Or when there's an uptrend, they can correct through time by going sideways or through price by pulling back. That's the only way they can correct. There's no other way. Now, we just talked about the W pattern in the previous video, at least about Bitcoin. What's a W pattern? It's a pullback with a retest, with a double bottom basically. So it's a form of a pullback, correction through price rather than time. But there are no other entries. Basically, if you understand this simple concept, you'd stop looking for all these other fancy patterns that are just a variation of either a pullback or a base breakout. Does that make sense? So we have a base breakdown here. QNST is kind of in between. It's like a sell setup, but then it's based and then a base breakdown. It looks beautiful, by the way. I would be concerned about the reward to risk on this, because the prior low is not very far. So you only do it if you expect it to break through the prior low. If you expect it to break through the prior low, then no problem. Entry under the base, stop over this topping tail bars high. And then SRPT. SRPT is a 1, 2, 3. It's not my favorite, but definitely ended the uptrend on the monthly. Complete and total failure. It should come back down to earth. Where did this stock come from? From $8. Check it out. The low should be $8. That's $8. See it? Because I remember it when it was at 8. It was gapping. It would gap a lot here from 8 to 20. I mean, I'll show you. That was, I think, 2016. It was crazy. It was just a crazy stock. And then it went to let's see. I'd have to add more data, I guess. Let's add 2,000 days. $8. There it is. Gapped from 24 to 16, 50%. Oh no, and then it gapped down to 8. And then it went down to 8. I don't see it. Is that 8? No, that's 12. Anyways, you get the point. Here it is. Probably that's it. No, that's 20. So it was a crazy stock, right? And then that's the thing about biotechs. You have to be careful. And then eventually started gapping up and never looked back. It had a beautiful weekly buy setup, I think, if I recall correctly. It's a huge rounding bottom. Those are the best. And then beautiful weekly buy setup. And then it took it up to like 160, 170, 176. Crazy. And now it's pulling back, right? But it's not pulling back. It's over. It's not pulling back. It's going to be down to probably come back down to 40. Okay, on the SRPT. SVRA, look at that 1, 2, 3 on the monthly. Looks good. Where's it going to? Probably to 0 or to pennies. Sub $1. That's where it's going to. I like it, but it's thin. I like this one, but it's thin. True is already triggered, already broke under the base, but looks good still. Under 58. Stop over the base, which is, I think, 75. When I say 75, I mean 375. Last but not least is TSG. As a short under the base, stop above it. Lots of ideas to pick from. These are all good. Otherwise, I wouldn't have actually shared them with you. Maybe my least favorite would be the SRPT, because the SRPT, I like the 1, 2, 3 to be at the prior low. It's a little bit above it. But these are all nice. It's just a matter of which ones you want to do. I'm picking 4. I'm going with 4 shorts. Okay. Alright, that was a long video. I like to do a little bit of education in every video, not just give you ideas, but give you a little bit of education. So I hope because if you can improve just a little bit at a time, every day, every week, you just improve 0.5%. Then in 6 months from now, where will you be? In 1 year, in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you'll be a much better version of who you are today as a trader, right? So that's the goal, is to always constantly keep learning. Sometimes, I mean, to this day, I am learning and improving, and I sometimes surprise myself. I say, wow, can't believe I just discovered this. I've been trading for so long, can't believe I just discovered it. But that's life also, right? You're constantly learning and improving and becoming a better version of yourself, a better version of of the trader. So, alright, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, if you did, please be sure to hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. And then if you have any questions, reach out to info@t3live.com. Check out the links also in the description. I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and I'm going to do an update, a video on the market with an update on the market. So with that said, I'll talk to you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in, and talk to you next time. Take care.